Welcome, everybody, to another deep dive. Today, we're going to be talking about something that I find super fascinating.
Yeah.
It's, this idea of God relentlessly pursuing us.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Hmm.
Like, what does that look like, and how can we kind of wrap our minds around that?
Yeah, absolutely.
And we've got some really interesting material to dig into. First off, we're going to be looking at a passage from the book of Luke, chapter 15.
Okay.
And we'll also have a prayer and even a song recommendation to sort of round things out.
Awesome.
But before we get into all that, let's start with this question. Will we let God find us?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Right. That's kind of what this whole thing's about. It's not just about God searching,
Right.
but it's about our response.
Yeah.
So turning to Luke 15, the material actually points us to the parables of the lost sheep and the prodigal son.
Okay. Yeah. Two very famous parables.
Right. And everyone pretty much knows the stories.
Mm-hmm.
But what I find really interesting is, like, in the lost sheep, the shepherd leaves the 99 to go find that one lost sheep. Like, isn't that a little...
Risky.
Yeah, a little risky. I mean,
Yeah.
What if something happened to the rest while he was gone?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and I think that's exactly the point, right?
Oh, okay.
It kind of highlights just how much God values each
Oh, nice.
individual. Like, he's not going to write us off.
Mm-hmm.
If we stray, he's going to go out of his way to find us.
Right.
Even if it means leaving the rest for a bit, it really makes you think about the lengths he'll go to for every single one of us.
It really puts things into perspective, doesn't it?
Definitely.
And then there's the prodigal son. I mean, talk about making bad choices.
Right, yeah.
He squanders everything.
Yeah.
But then the father welcomes him back.
With open arms.
With open arms, no questions asked. Talk about unconditional love.
Absolutely. And I think for anyone listening who's maybe feeling far from God right now,
Yeah.
that's such a powerful reminder. He's not waiting for us to be perfect
Right.
before he'll accept us. He meets us right where we are, messes and all. It's never too late to come home.
That's so good. And our source really emphasizes reflecting on this love,
Mm-hmm.
and surrendering areas where we might be running. But what would you say are some of the more subtle ways we run from God in our everyday lives?
Yeah, it's not always some big dramatic thing.
Right.
It's often the little choices we make day to day, like choosing fear over faith, maybe
Yeah.
holding on to resentment or numbing ourselves with distractions instead of facing our problems.
Mm-hmm.
Really anything that creates that distance.
Those barriers.
Yeah, those barriers between us and God.
Yeah, and the source really talks about how those barriers, that running away,
Yeah,
can have consequences.
absolutely.
And it makes me think, if running isn't the answer, then what does surrender actually look like?
It's about recognizing our need for God
Okay?
and choosing to trust him, even when things are tough, letting go of trying to control everything and letting him lead.
That's powerful. And it makes me think about how important it is to share this with others. Because you never know, someone around us might really need to hear this.
Absolutely.
The source even says that someone around us might be feeling completely lost.
Mhm.
So how can we be more aware of those people in our lives who might be struggling?
Sometimes it's as simple as just being present,
Okay.
truly listening to people's struggles without judgment. A kind word,
Yeah.
a helping hand can make a world of difference.
Totally. It's about recognizing that inherent value in every person,
Exactly.
just like the shepherd valued each of his sheep.
That's right.
And speaking of sharing, the source recommends a song called You Come After Me.
Oh, nice.
It's a beautiful song that really captures this whole idea of God relentlessly pursuing us, and really got me thinking about the incredible lengths he goes to for us. I highly recommend checking it out after this.
I love how music can be such a powerful way to connect with these ideas.
Right. It's a different level.
Yeah.
And finally, the source ends with a prayer, and it starts with gratitude for God's love
Sure.
and acknowledging his pursuit. But then it goes on to ask for help, to trust and walk in freedom.
Oh, I love that. And the structure of it is so intentional.
Yeah.
Starting with gratitude, recognizing what God's already done. It opens our hearts to receive even more. And then asking for what we need to move forward.
That's so insightful. And it ends with "in Jesus' name,"
Right.
which is so much more than just tacking it on at the end.
For sure. It's about aligning ourselves with Christ's authority and power.
Oh, wow.
It's like saying, I believe you can do this, and I'm on board with your plan.
So to wrap things up, I think the main takeaway here is that God is relentlessly pursuing us
Yes.
no matter where we are in life.
Absolutely. And he offers us incredible gifts.
Right.
Love, forgiveness, restoration.
It's always available.
Always. Even if we've strayed.
He's always there.
He is.
So we'll leave you with this question to ponder. If God is always seeking us, are we open to being found?
That's a good one.
It's something to think about.
Yeah.
Until next time.